I'm curious just how much the story changed from when you guys first became involved to what we see in the finished cut, and also just given your roles as producers and also just being writers, what you personally brought to kind of these characters as just from like your creative standpoints.
I think we worked a lot on the script just in terms of trying to make these feel like real people and a couple that you wanted to root for, and took personal experiences and had lots of conversations in a round table of sorts to plug into these characters. And so I think we just wanted to be able to chart their path to success or non-success. You have to watch the movie to find out. But that was very important to us.
And did you feel like you were kind of swinging that executive producer role? I mean, did you feel like you got to take full utilization of it?
We earned it.
Yeah. It was a very collaborative experience. It really was.
It's locked. Did you think it was one of those men-only doors?
Obviously, I was thrilled to work with Issa. The other thing that was great was for both of us was that the other people involved, the other producers, the director, everybody really welcomed our input, and we all sort of worked together to make this movie feel more like us.
We have to go to the police because we have nothing to hide.
Why did you run from the scene of the crime?
Good question, officer.
That's me covering up my body cam so I can beat your ass.
There is a long tradition of the bickering couple in the romantic comedy genre, and this movie has a great take on it, but I'm curious if you guys had any kind of pop culture touchstones that you kind of looked to when you were kind of just metering what this relationship should be, and kind of on the other side of that, if there were any like tropes that you were actively trying to avoid.
For me, a lot of romantic comedies sort of end when the couple gets together. So what was exciting about this one was that it was going to actually get into what it takes to stay together, not just getting together. And for me, the movies I watched as sort of a good comparison for these, there's a series of movies called The Thin Man, which are from a long time ago. And it's this sort of bickering married couple that solves crimes together.
This case is serious, and all you do is fuddle around and guzzle cider.
I'll switch prune juice.
And even though they're always arguing, you could see that there's love there, and it's fun to watch, and it's funny. So to me, that was the needle we wanted to thread as well.
I think for me, I did look at the breakup. I think for me, the breakup felt like a real couple going through things that so many couples can identify with and relate to. And I think that's also what appealed to me about this script. But I think it just had a bit more levity than that film, even though, there were the breakup had dynamic actors in Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston. So that movie stands out to me as kind of representative of what I was thinking of.
Is that how you want to play it? Because I'll play it like Lionel Richie all night long, lady.
Looking back on the entire experience, what would you say was the greatest challenge that you faced, kind of really in any part of it, from big picture to day to day? And also, what would you say was the most rewarding?
Shooting nights was the most challenging for me. Most of the movies set at night, so your day is starting at 7 p.m. and you go until the sun comes up, and it just sort of messes up your rhythm so much. So to me, that was what was the most challenging.
I would agree with that, and I think the most rewarding was just being in the city of New Orleans. That was just such a treat, and my mom's side of the family is from there, so that was cool catching up with some relatives. The food is amazing, obviously the culture during Mardi Gras. I'd never been to Mardi Gras in my life, and you always hear about it, so that was fun.
Yeah, definitely the most rewarding was getting to spend so much time in New Orleans. I'd been before, but I'd never spent a significant amount of time there, and just to get to know that city a little bit and eat that food and to meet people, that was just such a great experience.
And it's totally different than any other place in America. I love New Orleans.
There's no place like it in the world.
These people are super dangerous and they're really powerful.
Stop!
This is some Handmaid's Tale bullshit.